All right. Let's get this thing going one way or another. Hey, this is your brother from another mother. Let's get this thing going. No other. I don't look like Danny Glover, but keep it cool for you guys. Let's talk about this T.O. situation. We all know that T.O. played for the Dallas Cowboys. He's highly opinionated, got high thoughts, well, crafty thoughts about Jason Garrett. This is the truth right here. The truth of the matter is, wherever or whatever on your mind or Jason Garrett's mind or T.O.'s mind or the national media mind, it's all about Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones handpicked Jason Garrett. Jason Garrett is not going nowhere. So at the end of the day, Jason Garrett is the head football coach of the Dallas Cowboys. We can only give you guys our thoughts, our opinions as it relates to the National Football League, as it relates to the Dallas Cowboys. Because trust me, we can't change none of this stuff. Jason Garrett is the coach. We have to figure out a way to say, hey, and some have to say this, we did it with Barry Switzer, however you call his name. We won in spite of the coaching. And then at the same time, somebody can argue the fact that, hell, Jason Garrett's been subpar, below standards of what the Dallas Cowboys organization has been pretty much wanted out there on the field. But at the same time, it is what it is. We can't change none of this. But my thing is with Jason Garrett, we understand that he was a coach groomed in the process, a coach learning under the process. Now, one can say, well, Law, what about this? What about the guy that won the Super Bowl in Philadelphia Eagles, the filthy? What about that guy? Well, it's a different scenario because I believe deep down in my heart that the organization, as far as what Philadelphia is ran by, they got a true GM. They got somebody that's not all in the hand in the mix. They allow this guy to coach, not putting Jason Garrett on that paddle stool or that mantle or what have you. But it is what it is. We don't have those type of things. But at the end of the day, we would never sleep well knowing that Jason Garrett is our head coach. But at the same time, we don't have no fact of the matter of changing the philosophy of this. So shout out to Junior. Shout out to Stevie Mack. Let me know if you guys are able to hear me. Let me know if you guys are in the mix all together. The thing is, it's just what it is. Shout out to everybody that's in the chat box too as well. Let's get this thing going. Let's get this audio going. Let me know if you guys are able to hear this audio.
What a bunch of tools we are. Good grief. T.O. called in to the Kansas Masterpiece last night. This was a fantastic job by the boys. It's all over the NFL Network this morning. Here is T.O. on the release of Dez Bryant.
The way that Dez Bryant was released, a lot of people looked at this situation and say it was handled poorly. I would tend to agree. The same way with my decision. I felt like it was handled poorly. And again, at the end of the day, how can you, at some point, keep allowing a coach to be the or the players to be the scapegoat for what's not happening, especially when you have a head coach that's supposed to be offensive minded. They're supposed to, direct and lead the team to where a team hasn't gotten in a number of years. And they pretty much have been they've been at a standstill under the head coach of Jason Garrett.
Wow, it's aggressive.
Man, he is aggressive.
Yes, indeed. So, hey, it is what it is at this point, man. We can go back and forth, but the thing is, he's still a head coach. We can have our opinions out there. We can say that we're mad at the world about this, and we can say at the end of the day, too, as well, will Jason Garrett bring us to the promised land? Studies and statistics shows that he won't. He will not. He want to, but he will not. But as a Cowboys diehard fan, he's our leader out there of the team. And at the end of the day, we have to figure out a way to win in spite of. And one can argue the fact and say, well, Law, it's just not going to happen. It's just one of those things that Jason Garrett and the whole philosophy with Scott Linehan and Jerry Jones with their hand in the mix, it just won't happen for us. But neither here nor there, we got to figure out something. And with that being said, T.O., Terrell Owens, his whole mindset of what organization did to him back in the day, and then what the organization did to Dez Bryant. Has it been like a smooth selling process? No. To me personally, they should have figured out something. And I blame some of the blame too as well with Dez Bryant's situation with Rock Nation. I said before and I say it again, Rock Nation should have had their representative out there. Rock Nation should have said, hey, my client have the franchise record and touchdowns for this organization. My actual, not quarterback, but my actual franchise player, Dez Bryant, has been nothing but a pillar for the community, doing barbecues, helping out the people that needed help in the area. He's been one of those guys that been always on the forefront. Now, for you guys to sully and denigrate his name like this, we would do all the talking from here. Let Dez Bryant do his deal, but at the end of I'm gonna say at the end of the day about 1,000 times. But the thing is with Dez Bryant, when he went out and he said that Jason Garrett got Garrett guys, what have you, and and he said he absolutely loved Jerry Jones. I'm thinking that if he was coached up enough on how to speak to the media and when to speak to the media and when to hush and just put out his highlight tape and say, okay, I'm gonna let my production do the talking for me. For the organization not to see that I've been injured for the last 3 years. For the organization not to see that I had a rookie quarterback throwing me the ball. I had a guy named Brandon Wheaton, Matt Castle, a left-handed quarterback too as well. I forgot his name, Matt Moore, or whatever his name is. You guys put his name down in Kellen Moore. Had Kellen Moore throwing me the ball. I was not healthy, and I wasn't healthy. He had all those excuses that he could have used, and the next team would have been like, okay, we see you from a different perspective now. And then the outcoming of All of Nothing video. We understand that the cutting and the editing can make somebody appear to be is just as vicious as possible. But I'm not trying to give Dez Bryant a clear shot too as well. What I'm saying is what Dez Bryant should have done at the age of 28, 29, however old he is, Dez Bryant should have at least spoken to the Rock Nation and said, okay, I'm a football player. I'm not a negotiator. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a guy that can pretty much speak to a billionaire organization or billionaire, Jerry Jones and those people. What I need to do is I need for you guys to craft up some information for me and do the talking for me. Because evidently I'm let go from the team. I feel like I have a lot left in my tank. And the team that I go to from here, I want to show and prove to them that I'm the best. He should never brought up the aspect of Jerry Jones and I guess Jason Garrett got Garrett guys. He should never brought that up. Because now everybody gonna look at it from the other end of it and say, okay, well, how about this? Maybe you are the troublemaker that you are, maybe. And then All or Nothing come out, he cussing out the positioning coach, and he said that mentally I checked out of the game. Mentally I was frustrated, so that's why I dropped games. So now everybody can craft a story that this guy's washed up, used up, and the numbers will show. Regardless of whether people think that Dak Prescott can't hit water if he fell out for a boat. But at the same time, where's the excuse for Eli Manning? Eli Manning's never been that accurate of a quarterback, but he still get the ball to Odell Beckham. Odell Beckham, no one can say that Eli Manning been putting the ball right on the money for Odell Beckham, right? And nobody in this chat box, nobody in this world will say, at this point in time, I would take Eli Manning over Dak Prescott. That's just not going to happen, right? So with that being said, the issue falls on both sides. But who agree with Terrell Owens, let me know. And who don't agree with Terrell Owens, let me know too as well. But let's listen to the rest of this clip.
Towards Jay Jeezy. He hates Jason Garrett. Do we want the Garrett pile-on, or will Dez end up? You want the next destination?
Let's go with Dez, yes.
Okay, Jason Witten has already predicted Green Bay, mentioned the Saints as a second team. The other day, I had someone tell me that the Saints are out on Dez, that they're satisfied with what they have, or maybe they just don't love 88 that much. Here's T.O. on where Dez should be playing.
You think about a team like the Green Bay Packers with Aaron Rodgers. You think about the Carolina Panthers. You think about the Washington Redskins. I'm just trying to, look at teams where I feel like he would be a great fit, and in addition to what they have, with him not necessarily feeling like he has to be the guy. I think if he can just, understand and just work himself back to the Dez Bryant that we saw 3 or 4 years ago, and just not go in there, with a whole lot of expectations in terms of really kind of what he can offer beyond what we saw last.
Let me pause right quick. Now, the thing is, too, as well, when you have tendonitis in the knee, he stated that he had tendonitis in the knee. He played all last year hurt, and that's the reason why his production has been diminutive or lack thereof, right? Now, this is the thing. This is where maturity comes into play. And we saw the same thing happen, I think, in 2015 too as well. I think it was either 2015 or 2016 where he refused to get the MRI on his knee because he felt that it's going to be bad results. The thing is, when you mature, when you have the maturity level and understand that the training staff, the team specialists, those that are getting paid 6 figures or 7 figures or whoever out there, that's their job and duty, to see what is wrong with your knee or see what's wrong with your health and let them do their magic. Now, you cannot walk under the aspect of saying that I'm in fear of knowing what's going on with my body. For anybody out there in the chat box too as well, if you have an issue going on with your body, go see the doctor. Don't try to go around and say, well, I'm going to walk around the couch 7 times and making sure that in the mighty name of whatever God that you're serving, that this process is going to get healed. No, they got things in places that can go under to see what's going on with your shoulder, to see what's going on with your knee. When you get paid that amount of money, the doctors, whoever that's doing the medical conditionings and stuff like that, can see and say, okay, based upon what we see with the MRI, with the CAT scan, whatever it may be, we need to wrap this knee, put compressions, do cold therapy, do hot therapy to get you back out there on the field. So instead of you playing at 85%, we can at least get you at 93%. If anybody can understand what I'm saying on that aspect of it. Now, by that, me saying that too as well, if he so happened to go to Green Bay, you know and I know it's not like Texas weather. And Dez Bryant is a Texas guy. He's from Texas. When he get up there in that cold weather, what the first thing that snap up is your joints. You can't be walking around talking about, I'm going to be a beast, I'm going to be a man, walking around with your shirt off up there in Wisconsin, wherever Green Bay play at. You know what I mean? Your production is going to drop just off of that. I don't care who throwing you the ball. Joe Montana mixed with Aaron Rodgers. They probably still won't be able to get you the ball when your knee is all snapped up. So the first thing need to be right here. Need to man up and let the training staff, whoever the nutritionists, because football is a war of attrition, let those guys work on their skill, the reason why they're getting paid to watch over you. Let them do that aspect of what their knowledge is. That's all I'm going to have to say on that. Now, as far as any other team, to me personally, who can utilize Dez Bryant, there's many teams out there that can utilize pretty much a big physical receiver that they can line up pretty much within the X or within the Z or whatever the offense asks for. But to me personally, Dez Bryant would need to go to a seasoned quarterback, somebody that already understands ball placement. Not saying that Dak Prescott could not do those things. Go back and watch the all or nothing videos, and you will see actually Tony Romo said he spent hours upon hours to get Dez Bryant to get into the right mind frame, the right technique of catching the ball on the fade. But what we do as Dallas Cowboys fans, we would say we would take 1 or 2 years of Dak Prescott production and thinking that Dak Prescott's supposed to magically already know that, hey, this fade is supposed to be like this. It is what it is. Go out, and when you watch Carson Wentz, he wasn't just like killing it, passing the ball to the outside receivers. This is what helped any young quarterback. Trust me, this is what helped a young quarterback. A good running back and a good tight end up the middle of the seams. That's always been a quarterback best friend. Never been to, I'm talking about the young quarterback. Go back, let me know, guys. Let me know if I'm wrong. Find me the young quarterback who just immediately just had this relationship with the wide receiver their first year. I'll sit and wait. You probably won't see it. Peyton Manning had Adrian James. Peyton Manning had another guy named Dallas Clark. Even Tom Brady. I think he had a Corey Dillon. And then he had a defensive-minded coach saying, okay, when you guys get ready to play for me, I want you to just play comfortable within the system. It was a system down there or up there in New England, right? And if you even look at the Seattle Seahawks, beast mode was everything for the little quarterback Wilson out there. Beast mode was everything. And then, of course, that defense. You only playing half of the field. You only have half of the times to make a mistake. I'm just telling you guys from what I know. And then if you can go back and look at the Steelers, who did they have when Big Ben was passing that ball around? They had a guy named Miller. They had a guy named Jerome Bettis. You guys remember that? Then they had a guy, of course, he was a receiver, the war guy. He was a good physical slot receiver who could just pretty much dominate, take over the game in those aspects or those situations. It's always been a quarterback best friend, always been the running back and a tight end. A la, if you look at John Elway, when did John Elway? He went through all those years of messing up, getting beat down by the Washington Redskins and all this stuff. John Elway supposed to be the next greatest thing since sliced bread. Couldn't win it all, right? Until they got him a running back, a good, decent tight end, because, Shannon Sharp pretty much played half his years with him, but they got him a good, decent tight end, and then also their defense stepped it up. So it's all about the core within the running back to help out quarterbacks too as well, and I do know that I was talking about young quarterbacks, but still, the philosophy is still the same. Even if you ask Troy Aikman, Jay Novacek, and even if you go back to the 49ers, I can just go on and on and on. Oh my goodness, I could go on and on and on. Even with the 49ers, we had what? The 49ers had Brent Jones, good tight end, and they had a plethora of running backs. That helped out Steve Young. And then on top of that, didn't I say that Steve Young sat on the bench and learned from Joe Montana? Didn't also Aaron Rodgers learn from Brett Favre? So it takes time for chemistry to build the way we think it needs to be. That's what it is. But let me listen to the rest of this clip for you guys.
Last year, or the last few years, if he just goes in there and just takes the approach, let me go in here and reinvent myself. Let my play do the speaking for me instead of all these other shenanigans that's going to probably follow him from Dallas. If he just takes that approach and find the right team and right fit, then I think, again, he can be, if not close to where we saw Dez Bryant 3 or 4 years ago, he can be that added piece. And as the season goes along, he can develop some rapport and a chemistry with the team, with the quarterback.
Terrell Owens.
Shenanigans.
Terrell Owens talking about someone cutting out the shenanigans and focusing on their play.
It's just down to football, man. That's all we want.
That's like me telling someone to keep calm. What are you doing? What are you talking about? It's like Bartolo Colon telling a teammate to start eating right.
Eat right. Eat a salad.
Eat a salad. Eat a salad.
Get some greens in your life.
All right, and then the last one. No matter how you feel about T.O., 95% of the Metroplex, at least, with the exception of R.J. Choppy, will love his total taking apart of the Cowboys head coach.
When you really look at it, it doesn't make sense for Jason Garrett to continue to have his job, not really making any, not really expanding or not really progressing with the organization, even as a team under his coaching tenure there. And you look at just think about let's bring up basketball for a second. Here you have Dwayne Casey of the Toronto Raptors.
Yeah.
This guy voted unanimous, coach of the year, has taken Toronto to the playoffs, 3 straight years or whatever, had 3 straight years of winning 50-plus games, and then they don't make it, beyond where they what the expectations are within their organization, and he gets fired. And then you have Jason Garrett, who has no accomplishments, not even close to that.
He won Coach
and he
of the Year.
continues to still have a job. And it all boils down to him being the scapegoat and having players being the scapegoat for his inability to lead the team as he should. For me, it's mind-boggling. I don't understand it. And I think Jerry, again, he's the owner. At the end of the day, he has to be, he has to feel good with himself about the decisions. But I just don't understand why this guy still has a job.
And a lot of people in the Metroplex right now saying, preach, preach, preach.
Hey, man, when you guys listen to T.O., let me know in the chat box, man. Was T.O. right on that aspect, or was he pretty much talking out of the side of his neck? Because I don't know if you guys follow basketball, but this guy been pretty much to the playoffs 3 times and pretty much didn't punch it in for him. Can't get by LeBron James. You know how that go, right? Can't get by. I mean, the name of the game is winning. And for us to be in the same pretty much wheelhouse of a Cleveland Browns, Cincinnati Bengals, it's disrespectful. You know, it's disrespectful to everybody who been following the Cowboys before us. It's disrespectful to that star and that silver and blue. It's just disrespectful. At this point in time, we deserve to have a team that we can feel comfortable about when we up by 20 points, when we up by 30 points. We can feel comfortable. We can feel comfortable when we up by 10 points and there's 7 minutes left in the fourth quarter. We can say, okay, we're going to win this game because we have truth, we have faith and confidence in our coach to push it in for us or punch it in for us. We should feel comfortable enough to say, okay, looking at this schedule, this is a win. This is a win. This is a W. And I do know that in the National Football League, it's any given Sunday. But when you look at and I hate to bring this team up, the the Patriots. when you look at their schedule, you can say, okay, well, they won't win this game, they can win that game, they can win this game, just off of coaching alone, right? So those are feelings that we have. Those are things that we have. Now, granted, I will say, our opinions of Jason Garrett do not matter, and I always say this too as well. Everybody have reasonings. Everybody have a reason for why they are on this channel. Everybody have a reason why they go to work. Everybody have a reason for their production, whether or not they make money or whether or not they don't have money. But the reason why doesn't matter, because this is what matters. Results is what matters. How are you putting things together to get the results is what matters. You can have a reason to not study. You can have a reason to study. But your results are what's matter, or whether or not you're going to pass the test and get the job that you want. So at the end of the day, guys, let me know. Let me know how you guys feel about Terrell Owens. I'm going to give a quick shout out to everybody that's in the chat box. Shout out to DJ Cobbs, Asher White. Who else? Is it DJ too as well? They got a DJ and we have a DJ Cobbs. Shout out to you. Alex, shout out to you too as well. James Stewart, White. Asher White saying preach it up. We appreciate that too as well. The game don't lie. What you guys talking about, DJ Cobb? Let me know. Shane, shout out to you. Garrett's not a bad coach. Reminds me of the Steelers Packers when they had. Okay, I think you're talking about Coward. You know, the Rooney organization. We talking about the Steelers. The Pittsburgh Steelers organization is light years. As it relates to pretty much how they organize and run their organization is pretty much, I'm going to say light years, but they're ahead of us in certain aspects because their owner's not all in the mix. We do know that Jerry Jones is pretty much the owner slash coach slash, what you want to call that, scouting guy, GM. He have all these hats on and not understanding that at the end of the day, even if he don't go to one meeting, he will still get the glory. But he wants to physically be in there. He wants the glory hole. Shout out to DJ Mel and Barry B. Ty Jefferson, man. Shout out to you too as well. Cortez. The wide receivers I want to see on the field is a lot is Allen Hurns. I think that Allen Hurns is going to step it up this year. And don't sleep on this guy too as well. The Gallup kid. I think that he's going to step it up too. I think that the acquisition with, not to leave out on a negative note, you know, I don't like to leave out on a negative note. The Tavon Austin, he's going to bring back the reverse sweeps and keeping it real. He's going to take the top off the defense. He have those type of speed. So this is also another positive plug that I want to put out there into the atmosphere because thou shalt decree a thing and it shall be established, right? Not to take you guys all the way to church, but what I'm saying is that with the positive aspect of Jason Garrett, this is an even year, right? So with that being said, with this even year, we should have a whole lot better outcome than what we had last year, right? So at the end of the day, I told you guys, I'm going to say at the end of the day 1,000 times, we should have a better season. Ezekiel Elliott is not in trouble. And I'm not going to wood. Please not going to wood, guys. It's not going to wood. Ezekiel Elliott is not in trouble. We have a better temperament of players out there going out to practicing. Nobody's outshines pretty much nobody. Everybody's on the same page. Everybody's on the same, I guess, talk track. Juice 21, what's up, man? Shout out to you. Who else we have? Christopher. Hey, shout out to you. What it do, Law? Hey, man, what it do to you, man? Light shine bright. Jinx. No. We're going to reverse that thing. We're going to flip it around. We're going to get back out here and we're going to take it all the way to the house. It's just that, hey, the truth is in the pudding. This is a put up or shut up time for Jason Garrett. But we do understand it with the same breath of me saying that Jerry Jones, that's his pet cat, and Jerry Jones don't like to lose. So that's all the time I have for today, guys. I really thank you guys for yours. And remember, you listening to nothing but the best. Salute. I'm out. Peace. Let's get this music going. About the music of your mind, right? Oh yeah. I forgot to tell you guys, we're going to be live like 95 at 9 o'clock tonight. Silver and Blue Nation, yeah, I said it. Law Nation, we all going to be in the mix. My guy, producer G. We're going to really talk back some more about this Jason Garrett talk. We're going to talk about Ezekiel Elliott. We're going to talk about Dak Prescott said that he's going to be the greatest. And I'm talking about the best, the baddest quarterback to ever put on that silver and blue. We're going to talk about that too as well. Stay true, guys. Peace. Gotta get the glasses off of this.